Hello, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games. And that shaves their head together.
Yeah, it was a little bit too warm where we live, so let's not jump into that. Well, today we are back at our Check It Outs, and we have Check It Out for you today.
Exactly, and for those of you who don't know, Check It Out is a series where we introduce various board games to you folks in hopes that we can find a game perfect for you.
And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and get to know us. Ask some questions. We'd love to get to know you and for you to follow along our journey. But today, we're taking a look at
Mandala Stones! Check it out, check it out, check it out! Check it out. Mandala Stones is designed by Philip Glovach and it's published by Board & Dice. In this abstract strategy pattern building set collection game, you'll work towards doing exactly that. Basically the theme here is that you're working with these artists on collecting these Mandala Stones to
create some collective art.
Yes, exactly, these beautiful works of art. And whoever has the most points at the end of the game ends up winning.
Yeah, there can only be one winner, so your art gotta scheme the other art.
Yes, yeah. And it's a 2 to 4 player game. It takes about 30 minutes to play.
Just about.
Yeah. Now let's take a quick look at how to play Mandala Stones.
As always, you begin by setting up. Each player will get a player board with a scoring marker as well as 2 objective cards. Now the main board and the Mandala board will go in the center of the table, and you'll populate the main board randomly with the Mandala Stones in the spaces below and place the artists in their starting positions as shown below. Now you're ready to start. On your turn, you can do one of 2 things: pick or score. If you're picking, you will choose one of the 4 artists and move them to another empty location. Then you'll take all the stones that match that artist's symbol. However, you cannot take the stones if there's an adjacent artist between that stone, as shown here. So this stone, don't take it. Now, what you'll do is you'll take those stones and place them on your player board in one of the 5 areas. It's important to know too that if all your 5 areas have stones on them, you cannot take the pick action and must score instead. Now it's important the order of the stones because you may be scoring them at different times, and we'll talk about that in a second. Now the other option you can have is to score. So you can score by color or the top stones. Now if you score by color, you take a look at your board, and every top stone that has the same color, and this has to be at least 2 of them, you get to score that column. Now every tower has a different scoring condition. So for example, the very first one here, you'll score 1 victory point for each different height amongst all the towers on your player board. So for example, on my board here, this would be 4 points. Now the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are all pretty similar. Depending on the position of the stone that's being scored, you get the corresponding points as seen here. And the very last one, you'll score victory points equal to the number of differently colored stones in this tower plus 1. So for example, if you have 3 different color scores, you would score 4 victory points. Now, the other option for scoring is you can take any and all of the top stones you have in here and score 1 point for each of them. Now, what happens to these stones when you score them? Well, they go on the Mandala board. You'll begin by placing them in the center and work your way outwards. And as you cover spaces that have +1 or +2, those are additional points you'll be able to score.
So you have to plan pretty strategically when you want to score.
Exactly. And essentially that's the game. You'll go in between picking and scoring, moving the artists in such a way that your opponents can't get the stones that they're looking for, and strategically try to score the most points. Now how does the game end? Well, when on your Mandala board you hit the symbol that corresponds to your player count, then the game ends and everyone gets an equal amount of turns from the starting player. So if the starting player was the one to end the game, everyone else still gets 1 more turn. Now, the other way you can end the game is if you can no longer pick or score. So if you move an artist and you won't get any stones, and you have no stones, then the game ends immediately. Now the final scoring begins. You'll take a look at both of your objectives, pick one, and if you achieved it, you get those many victory points. And at that point, the player with the most points wins! And that's Mandala Stones. Victory points. Yeah, yeah. So what do you think?
Well, it's an abstract strategy game, and it's one of my top games that I look for when we're playing games, like abstract strategy in general. So it's a lot of fun. It reminds me a little bit of Azul, but I think it's mostly just because of the colors.
And also the feel of the tiles. They're very similar quality.
But it's along that line of games, so it feels very like you've got to collect your different tiles to really plan for your scoring moments. And I really like it because you can essentially just chain reaction on your scores, and you end up having like 4 turns of just scoring, where it's like, I planned this perfectly because I was able to.
Yeah, if you get the colors right, it's definitely a nice... You feel very clever when it all works out, for sure. Yeah. Well, the first time we played this, I was really impressed. I think I sat there for a little bit after the game and be like, wow, there's like so many opportunities here. Because when you play in a 2-player game, it's almost a little bit like chess, because how you move the artists, you always want to like set up a trap for the other person, because there's this perfect spot, but they need to move the artist here, so maybe they'll want this piece right here. So it's a really interesting element on that main board, but also that like tug and pull on when to score, because you obviously want to get those bonuses, because our scores have been typically pretty
real close, yeah.
So those points matter quite a lot. So I really enjoy that element of it as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So why should you check it out?
Well, kind of alluded to this, as we always do. If you're into abstract strategy games, set collection games, pattern building, check out Mandala Stones. It's relatively quick to get to the table. It's pretty basic to learn. So
quick to pick up.
Yeah, it's quick to pick up. And I just... I'm biased because I like abstract strategy games, so...
And don't you like all games? I feel like you say that every video. I'm biased because... Well, I think the reason I really like this game is because it is really fairly different in a 2-player versus multiplayer, but both work really well. So I really enjoy playing it with just us 2, but I love introducing this game as well and playing with 3 to 4 players, because it changes the dynamics quite a lot. And yeah, there's a lot of those really fun moments where everything just works out great, or someone takes that moment of pure bliss away from you, and then you're just crushed. So I like to see that in my games, just like a little roller coaster of emotions, essentially. But definitely a reason to check it out.
Yeah, it's like, and I'll just compare it to Azul again, obviously, because I already did it. But it's like Azul in the sense where like you don't have to intentionally be trying to be like, take that, like. You do the move that's best for you, and then end up messing the other person up because of it. And it's you don't feel so bad, but you also feel great because you just messed them up. I'm evil.
That's true.
So why shouldn't you check it out?
If abstract type, more strategy type games are not your style, then probably this game isn't for you. There are a lot of times where you can sit there and also be prone to analysis by paralysis, because there could be many different moves that you can move and how you stack them. There's so many different options that could happen, that if you're the type of player who really likes to sit there and take their time and take it all in, maybe some other players won't like to play with you because you may take too long, so maybe this isn't the game for you. But I think there's a lot of game to discover here too. Yeah. I'm turning it to positive.
Right.
Go.
I think I'll just touch a little bit more on that with you have to really build those chains. I think that's really important when you're playing this game. Of course, you can score the top of every tower, but that doesn't get you as many points as it could if you were able to build those chain reactions where you're taking like red, then yellow, then purple, and then blue, and then going back to picking the tiles. I think if like that doesn't vibe with you, that you probably won't enjoy this game. Yeah. So overall, what do we think?
I really enjoy it. It's definitely deeper in the collection. It's like Tyler said, it's up there for me as well. There's just lots to love about it, and it's an absolutely gorgeous production quality too. I think that's one of the things we haven't really quite mentioned yet. Yeah. Everything just feels so nice playing. The stones have a good texture. It feels fantastic on the board, especially when it's all laid out, because it's just this like beautiful creation of art of a bunch of stones, different patterns. It just makes me feel good.
Yeah. And the simplicity behind just putting tiles on the board and picking and grabbing, but also the complexity of building those chain
Definitely can
reactions.
have a nice cup of coffee, enjoy the sunrise, and play Mandala Stones.
Maybe.
Now, for our question of the day,
what's your favorite abstract strategy game? Because I need more of them in my life.
do we so many games, not enough time.
But
yeah,
we're getting back to it.
Definitely. Let us know down below. We'd love to learn more, as we always do, and start some conversations. We'd love to get to know you. If you enjoyed what you saw, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, comment. We love your engagement, and it means the world to us, and we hope that you stick around for more videos.
Exactly, and we're really happy to be back. If you really enjoyed what you saw, make sure you hit that thumbs up and that subscribe button if you haven't already. The support means everything.
And sneak peek, we have lots of fun content coming in July. Well, have a wonderful day.
And this is us checking out.
Take care.
Bye!